Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. What's up guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. Okay, so where are we at right now? This is the BTC USD on the 1 day. Bitcoin obviously had this run from 25K and then it nuked all the way down to 20K. And this type of price action is very similar to, it's very common in these consolidation patterns where you see, we call it stairs up, elevator down, where you see like slowly moving up, like grindy price action where it's like not huge moves in either direction, but still higher lows. And then boom, you just like see everything go down. And I think part of the reason why that is because a lot of the bids get filled every time on the way up. So a lot of these bids are getting filled every single time when price does these mini dips. So, when you see this type of price action with higher lows like this, it is technically bullish in the sense that there are higher highs and higher lows, but the problem is that you see these big liquidation runs because you already see these bids being filled before on the way up, and they're just there's not really any bids to defend when you see these big liquidation runs. Now, this liquidation run that we saw isn't really very big relative to what we saw in the past, obviously. It wasn't like one of these big, like massive candles that we've seen like, in the past where you see like, 40K all the way down to 25K or these other big moves down. But this is still like, pretty big relative in the context of the last few months. So, where are we at right now? Price is currently just chopping around. I do believe that the bulk of the downside move in the short term is over, meaning that, we could see a spike below these current lows, so maybe a spike to 20K or something like that. That's certainly possible, like something like this. But I do believe that there is a large inefficiency to fill from this move down. And what I mean by inefficiency is I mean a massively big, strong move in either direction. So, for instance, this is an inefficient move up here where you see these big candles and price just moving strongly in one direction or the other. Generally speaking, these moves like to get filled out. So, when you see a candle do something like this, you'll generally see price want to fill in that candle a little bit and then go in whatever direction that it was intentionally going through. So what I'm basically trying to say is that this big move here was an inefficient move down from 23K all the way down to 20K. And I do believe that this inefficiency is going to get filled. So I think that we're seeing maybe, as I said, maybe a short spike down to 20K is possible. But I think this is a short-term low that's getting formed right now. And I do believe that we're going to see price grind up to like 23K. After that, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen. In terms of actual lows and a market structure standpoint, you could maybe consider this like the last true low that happened. It does certainly look like the last low that formed, and this is technically a higher low, but it's not super convincing either way. As I said, these highs that were marked before, all throughout late July, these weren't really convincing highs. These were just like barely ticking above the former highs, and these, as I said, this was very slow, grindy price action. So I don't really think you can really call this a very convincing bullish market structure, in my opinion. If we saw like this low form chop around for a while, then I think at that point you could maybe consider, and we break 25K, then obviously that is a much more clear high in my opinion. But as it currently stands, maybe it just forms a low, and then like it gets like some kind of slow, grindy price action, kind of dips down. This type of price action that we're going to see when price does hit some sort of resistance around 23K or so, or wherever it does, at that point, it's really, really uncertain, at least from my perspective, where price is going to go after that. There's all sorts of scenarios that could happen at that point. Maybe price hits like
23K, 24K, hits like a higher low and then continues up. Maybe it hits a lower high where price, goes up here, as I said, 23K, and then just like starts to die down. At this point, we're just hitting lower highs, and then price is probably just going to go lower. I have had the long-term idea, though, that price is going to, in fact, test these 17 and 18K areas once again. I don't know how or what it's going to look like. I do believe that these levels will get tested again. We could hit that area right away. It's certainly possible, obviously. But for me and my idea, I've long held the idea that 28K is going to get tested. And I'll admit that this current recent price action has kind of dampened that idea quite a bit, because this isn't really price action that looks really conducive to continuation. I did believe that 28K was going to get tested before new lows. My idea was that we're just going to grind through and then hit 28K or 27K or 27.8 or whatever, or somewhere around there, and then start to die down. But it's certainly looking at this point that idea might not come to fruition. Overall, I think it's best just to go ahead and stay very fluid with your overall ideas. And as I said, I do believe that price is forming a short-term bottom. I feel pretty confident about that. Again, maybe we see a spike below these lows, like maybe to 20K or something like that. But overall, I do believe the bulk of the short-term downside move is over, and I do believe that price is going to go to at least 23K or so before potential resistance. After that, I have absolutely zero idea. Maybe it goes up, as I said. Maybe it hits a higher low and goes up higher. Maybe it goes at that point, and maybe it just even continues higher. There's all sorts of different scenarios that can happen. I think it's really important to just stay very fluid and stay very cautious. So those are kind of my overall ideas on Bitcoin for right now. Thank you guys for the support, and good luck out there.